The brave men and women who have served our country faithfully often need our help to successfully transition back into civilian life. Brave Radio is here to highlight veterans and the companies who are making a difference in our veteran community. And now, the host of Brave Radio, Eve Nasby.
Welcome to Brave Radio, where we're focused on engaging our veterans and making a difference in our business community. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here to highlight the best and brightest that San Diego and this nation have to offer. We have a great show planned today with Mitchell. We've got Cox. We've got our good friends, Easter Seals of Southern California, sitting right here in studio. So, Cynthia, welcome.
Thank you, Eve. Really happy to be here. Thank you so much for being such an amazing advocate for our program, for our veterans. It's just a joy.
You're welcome. And you guys are doing some great work. And you've brought a good friend with you here in studio today. So would you like to introduce her to us?
Yes, this is Aneka Solomon. She's an Air Force veteran. She's been in the Air Force for 10 years. She's looking for meaningful employment. And the really great thing is that Aneka was referred to us by someone who knows you, Eve. When you reached out to us, your referral is now sending us more referrals, and that's how we connected with Aneka.
And that's the way it works. Grateful. It's all about networking, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today, the beauty of networking. If you don't know somebody that knows somebody, somebody else knows somebody that knows somebody's, right? And help you get a job. So, Aneka, tell us your story. You were in the Air Force for 10 years. That's a long time.
Yeah. So 10 years in the Air Force, and I was a mechanic in the Air Force, mind you.
Wow.
Heavy equipment.
You're gorgeous. I can't imagine you sitting there getting oil all over you.
Right? Busting up my knuckles and everything.
Right?
It's crazy.
Okay.
But after 10 years, I decided it was enough. It was time to move on. Mm-hmm. And so I started going to school full time for health science degree in kinesiology. And so with that, there's discovery that comes, and I'm stepping away from what I did straight out of high school. And so I did different jobs here and there. And finally, I was like, well, there's more for me besides this degree that I'm doing. Yeah. And so that brought me to California. But what I underestimated is that I can't do everything on my own. That little word, networking, it's just
that's right.
So important. And that's what led me to Cynthia and you guys this morning. Yeah. So it's funny how God works in funny ways, but networking is what has allowed me to move through the year and meet the people that I've met, and it sustained me.
So you guys, Cynthia, have already received support from the Bob and Dolores Hope Foundation. You've got corporate support from Vons and Verizon and Boeing and Wells Fargo and CVS, and the list goes on. And you're interested in continuing to grow this program so you can reach more people, right, to help them identify meaningful employment. Tell me about that.
Well, we'd really enjoy if we could get some more donors. Like Eve said, we have hope from Bob and Dolores Hope Foundation, Vons, Verizon, Boeing, Wells Fargo, and CVS. And we've also received more support from nonprofits, including Rancho Santa Fe Foundation, Orange County Community Foundation, and Swords to Plowshares, just to name a few. But what we really want to do is we need help to grow into Los Angeles and Orange County, where we're at right now. And we need other corporate sponsors to come out and come on board with us with funding to expand our services, and also employment partners who are looking for talent, just like Aneka Solomon.
And Aneka, you've got so many gifts and talents and skills. So for those people out there who are listening, they have an open position right now, and they want to help. So Cynthia, you talked about how corporations can jump in and financially support. But what about those organizations that have those positions that are open right now, that are looking for someone like you, Aneka? What can you tell them about yourself?
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm very driven. I have an optimistic look at whatever I'm doing. No matter what, there's going to be good and bad, and I just take all of it. It teaches me and develops me into who I am. And I'm open. I've learned to be flexible. I've learned to be patient as well. And I believe I have all the qualifications needed for an employer. Like, okay, let's do it. Like, what needs to be done? How can I contribute? And it develops me in the long run. So,
and here's what we love about veterans. Everybody, show after show after show, talks about the integrity level of a veteran. The camaraderie, the teamwork, the ethics, the high ethics, including showing up early, because being early is being on time, right? And if something breaks, you're the first person to fix it. If something needs to be volunteered for, veterans, over and over and over here, I hear veterans are the first to volunteer for those types of things, which is amazing. And Cynthia, you're a veteran too, so you're nodding your head saying, yes, that's true.
Definitely. From personal experience, I'm an Air Force of 12 years, military spouse of 20 years, and it's just been a blessing to be able to help amazing veteran talent like Aneka Solomon. And the transition, it might be a little bit of a rough process. That's why we're here at Easter Seals, because we know that, like Aneka mentioned earlier, we all need to support one another and lift one another up. But in the end game, the employer wins because they get amazing veteran talent who will show up to work on time, driven, hardworking, dedicated, passionate. I just can't say enough.
You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with Aneka and Cynthia from Easter Seals of Southern California. So if you could have your dream job, Aneka, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a few different things I see myself doing. I definitely see myself in business. Eventually one day having my nonprofit organization that will help veterans and others in need. Speaking, motivational speaking to people and just sharing from my experience. Going to school, getting my degree. I mean, there's writing. There's so much that I see myself doing. So this journey that I've been on, it's really allowed me to bring those gifts to front and center. Versus if you had talked to me 4 years ago, I'd be like, well, I just see myself doing a degree.
Right.
Going on one path. But now the vision is so much bigger than I expected. And that's why you need a team.
That's right. So you met people that are going to be on the show in just a few minutes. Cox Communications, Mitchell. I mean, you've got all these companies now that have your attention. Have you found a company out there yet that you've seen a job opening for that you're like, oh my gosh, I'd love to work for that company?
There's been a few with administrative work. And like I said, it's just the timing is everything. So I know the job is out there for me. It's just a matter of when that will come. And I'm just being patient with it. That's all I can do. So,
all right. So there's listeners out there who think, I think I want to talk to Aneka about hiring her. How do we get a hold of Aneka, and how do we get a hold of Easter Seals of Southern California to support all that you're doing?
Wonderful. Thank you, Eve. You can get a hold of us through easterseals.com, Southern Cal, our program's Military Veteran Services, or you can call 760-737-3990, and we'd love to connect you with Aneka Solomon and any other veterans that employers out there might be looking for.
That's so great. Cynthia, Aneka, thank you for being a part of our show. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back after this short break to talk to Cox Communications, the Vice President of Human Resources, to talk to us about what they have done to attract and retain veterans. Don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.US.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben. Who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick?
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Merit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and as promised, we're here with Stephanie from the San Diego Regional Chamber, and she brought her good friend, Paul Falcone from Cox. So, Stephanie, tell us about the Chamber and the Honor Roll program.
Well, that's very sweet of you. I wish I could say that I brought Paul, but I'm going to start out real fast by saying Cox has been so ahead of the game on addressing veteran hiring and connecting to veterans. So the Chamber just followed their lead and was fortunate to do it. So the San Diego Regional Chamber has worked in the military veteran space from a community affairs perspective and policy perspective for probably almost 30 years. We have a committee that goes back to like 1991 at least, but
and that was before you were born. Is that what you were saying before?
That actually not 91. No, I think late 80s. But anywho,
we're feeling really old here.
So the Chamber has what we call the Defense Veterans Military Affairs Committee, which you so graciously join us every month. And that committee is charged with doing a lot of the work about directing the larger Chamber's efforts in engaging with our veteran and military communities. They concocted these fantastic actual veteran men themselves and a couple ladies, Eve. They concocted the Honor Roll program, which is basically an incentive program for any of our Chamber members. We have 2,500 Chamber members representing about 300,000 jobs. And so they said to these 2,500 businesses, if you hire a veteran and keep that veteran employed for 90 days, you join the ranks of our Honor Roll. It's one veteran. You can have 400 employees and hire one veteran, and we are still going to lavish you with praise, recognition.
Tell me about that recognition.
Radio. So it's really the Chamber, being as large as we are, we have a lot of really cool opportunities. So we have connected a number of our Honor Roll businesses with you, Eve, to join you on the show. So that
thank you.
That was one of the motivations for reaching out to Cox for today's show. We've also invited some of our Chamber Honor Roll members, including actually Cox was part of this other one too, to sit down with San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer and the U.S. Deputy Secretary of Labor Chris Liu a couple weeks ago, and so they were able to sit down with a cabinet member and really talk about veteran hiring issues and highlight their own programs. They are eligible for additional awards at our Small Business Award program, as well as our Flag Ball program, which is specific for our military officers and businesses that engage with them. Additionally, we include their logos and information on our website. So if you go to the Chamber website, you'll see our Honor Roll members, and they are featured in front of our board of directors who meet every month. So it's really raising that profile of the business.
Right.
And then depending on what they have going on specifically, we've been able to highlight some success stories. If a veteran is happy to share their experience at a specific business, we absolutely want to hear it. We want to put it on the blog. We want to blast it out to all of our members and make sure that they see, you know what, it's not hard.
Right.
It's not foreign. It's absolutely something that they can do, and they can do from wherever they're sitting and wherever they're working. And that was really the motivation here. But we've experienced some really fun success already with it, and I'm just hoping that more businesses are going to come aboard. But what we're hearing from them, interestingly enough, is that the businesses who aren't yet a part of the Honor Roll are saying, I want to do this, but I don't know where to find the veterans. Right. I don't know what I need to do from my position here in HR or, running my dry cleaners how do I reach out to a veteran? Do they want to work with me? What do they want to do? And so we're trying now to find new and innovative ways to build that gap, or to build that bridge to address the gap.
Education, and we'll talk about that later. So now Cox has a phenomenal program. You've got a growing pool, Paul, of great veteran talent. Let's piggyback on that question. Where are you finding the people?
The funny thing is, it seems to me it is such a good time right now to do the outreach into the military community. I think the numbers that I heard, when I think about it, that there's like 14,000 Marines and roughly 7,000 Navy folks that are moving into the private sector every year. So yeah, whether it's working with search firms or reaching out directly, we have a lot of hands-on connections, because about 200 of our 1,800 employees are veterans.
My goodness.
And when you look at it, it's a fun place to work. I've been there about a year. I just feel so happy to be there every day. But the truth of the matter is, we've got about 105 frontline supervisors. Average tenure is 17 years. And 95% of these guys or gals have promoted internally into their jobs.
Right.
So our focus right now, both through Diversity Council and everything else that we're doing, is really, how do we focus on transitioning these folks in their first year? If we can find military, especially female military, interestingly enough, that's
okay,
really
ladies,
one of
are
our
you
goals.
out there listening?
Just
female
so you know,
veterans.
FYI, you heard it here first.
We did. Straight from Paul.
The reality is we have very veteran-friendly types of jobs and roles. And people can come in and they can work for a company that is fun. It's entertainment technology, which is a good area to be in.
Right.
And then, it's a company that still has a traditional pension on top of a 401k plus tuition reimbursement. That's why people stay so long. So it's a matter of just kind of raising awareness about the organization so that people know to look for us when they're transitioning over.
So I feel a match coming on. So the gal that we had, Aneka, on, who's now still sitting here with me in studio behind me, you guys are like the perfect match. She's a female veteran, and this is how things happen, right? It's all about the network and the opportunities that are out there, and Cox does an amazing job at this. So how do you advertise what you do, and what types of positions do you have open for veterans?
Well, the types of things, when you think of people who are in the STEM space, the science, technology, engineering, and math, we have a lot of jobs in network engineering.
Right.
And we have engineering itself and technology.
Okay.
But then we also have field services. When you look at our field ops guys and gals, those are the ones who go to people's homes, go into the businesses a lot. It's a social kind of job, but you have to have a technology orientation. But we're filling a lot of those jobs every year, probably 50 or 60 jobs a year. And if we can get more people that are coming from military, especially female coming from military, we think that these jobs really do make sense for people. And again, because we have such good, strong traction in terms of moving people into the leadership roles, it works out well. It's a good fit. When you think of military, you think of people who are very disciplined, a lot of camaraderie and teamwork, but they're also excellent leaders. And that's the profile that we're looking for. So it's kind of like a little bit of a no-brainer in terms of this is where we want to go and this is what we're trying to build and develop.
So my mantra is, why wouldn't you want to hire a veteran, right? So you got open positions, hire a veteran.
That's right.
You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at BraveJobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with Paul Falcone from Cox Communication, and we have this lovely young lady,
Gerra.
Gerra, talk about your role with Cox.
So I'm in the Public Affairs Department at Cox Communications. I've been with the company for about 17 years now.
So you were right, Paul. That number 17.
They all are. They look at me and they pat me on the head when I say I've got 1 year.
I help the average.
Right. You're the average.
That's great.
And in my department, what we do is a lot of community outreach with military families. So we've done giving in terms of helping military families. Sometimes our employees volunteer for things like putting together care packages or volunteering with the Armed Services YMCA. So I, on that part, I get to be really fortunate to be involved and feel like we really help families out in the community, giving grants, helping with scholarships to some of the kids who are coming out of the military families and going into the college.
Wow. So Cian, how did the folks that are listening right now that are thinking, oh my goodness, I would like to take advantage of that, how do they reach you?
Well, if they go on our website, it's actually coxcares.org, and we have a page in there where you can ask for different types of help.
Okay.
And one of it is if you're looking for financial assistance or in-kind donation, or they can also just really reach out to us. You can find me on the website. It's CEANNE.GUERRA@cox.com. That's my email, and I can always forward them to the appropriate person.
Excellent, Sian. Thank you so much. So, Paul, you talk about going out and finding these veterans, and now they have a way to find you through your website. What are your retention strategies? What does Cox do to retain the veterans once you've hired them?
Well, what we found is, and I think this is known basically even general, that the first year is hard for them. And they have a hard time kind of learning a new company and a new job and then trying to figure out how to do things in the private sector.
Right.
So what we're building right now is more of a mentoring program with using our 200 existing veterans to kind of do a one-on-one coaching type of.
Yes.
It makes for a sheltered transition, and we want people to have someone who has their back. And again, this is something that we're developing right now. We can't sit back and say, oh, we've got it in place. But the fun part of it is this is our 2016 goal, and last time I looked, it's about 2016. So the timing
give or take
a little bit. So the timing is perfect for us to kind of move through that because we want to make sure the retention does happen. And a lot of it really is personal. You can talk about training issues and you can talk about lots of things, but the reality is if they have someone who's their go-to person, that's really kind of the key to retention as far as we're concerned. And that's what we've decided as an organization. That's what we want to move forward with.
Well, and you're the perfect person to talk through this because you wrote a book called, or co-wrote a book called Boots to Loafers. And there's 3 different phases that veterans go through, and that's transition, transformation, and integration as they're doing this, going from military life into civilian life. So can you touch a little bit about that whole concept that you've written about in this book?
Yeah, the funny thing is about 2013, and I've written about 10 other books.
Oh my gosh.
Well, what happened was the author, the person who wanted to author the book is a gentleman by the name of John Phillips. And John works at Coca-Cola in Atlanta. And he's a finance executive. And he reached out to me and he said, Paul, I've never written a book, but I'm a retired lieutenant colonel from the Army. And he said, what I really want to do is I want to find a way of giving back.
Okay.
And I'm very involved in acquisition, talent acquisition and everything else. But could you help me write it? Because you've written a lot of books on job finding and career management and all that stuff. So it was great. And we kind of put it out there right from the beginning in the book that said, I'm not ex-military myself, but John is. And so the reality was I can talk about all the key things and give them a sneak look behind the curtain.
Right.
Because it's really not that scary. When you look at it from the other side, it's like, look, most recruiters these days, they do want to help.
Yes.
They would hire. They don't know how to translate the skills.
Yes.
They don't understand exactly what you did in the military, but there are ways that you can help them. You can translate your resume. Here's a great website. We kind of went through all the different resources that are available. And the idea of the book was not only to give them the resources, but to also not frighten them. My point would be is there's so many of these websites, just pick one with a backup that you feel most comfortable with and really dig deep into that and see all the stuff that's out there because the free resume writing is, you can find great stuff on the web. You really can. And then understanding how to interview and then understanding how to dress and then understanding how to negotiate your salary, understanding what a benefits package looks like and how you can evaluate that. Those are all the things that they need to know because even though there's more to it than just job and career, there's family, there's integration issues, there's social issues, and we understand that. Truth of the matter is if they have their job, they have their core.
Right.
From there, they can kind of move forward with the other.
Now, is all of that in your book, Boots to Loafers?
It is. It's called Boots to Loafers, Finding Your New True North.
And you can get it on Amazon. I already looked it up.
Correct. You get it on Amazon. And the funny thing is when John Phillips created the book, he also created a LinkedIn website, a LinkedIn share site. So people who would be interested can link into that as well.
All right. Well, Paul, thank you so much. Sian, thank you for being here and representing Cox. And Stephanie, whether you'll admit it or not, thank you for dragging them on to the show.
We're just proud to be partners with them.
They are amazing. How can our listeners get a hold of you again, Paul, one more time?
They can reach out to me anytime. Email is probably easiest.
Okay.
Paul.Falcone, I'll spell it, F like Frank, A-L-C-O-N-E. So just think of the Falcon with an E.
There you go.
It's Italian.
It's Italian.
Paul.Falcone@Cox.com. Or they can always go on to the Cox.com site and go to careers if they want to see what kind of jobs we have at any given time.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of our show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eve.
You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies like Cox that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back after this short break to talk to Mitchell. Don't go away.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Merit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.US. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio, where we are focused on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. As promised, I'm back here in studio with Mitchell International with Jaime Onofre and Megan Puryear. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So glad you guys are here.
Yeah,
Yay.
thanks for having us.
And as usual, we like to highlight great companies that are doing great things for veterans. And you guys are doing an amazing thing with veterans. You're starting, this is just like an incubator stage of your veteran program. So Jaime, talk about what it is that you guys are doing right now. And maybe Megan, I'll let you lead off then or take off after that and talk about what you want to do. So Jaime, what are you guys doing right now?
Sure. So I'll start by telling you what Mitchell International does.
Oh, well, that would be helpful. Thank you.
So we provide, we're essentially a software company that provides workflow software for the property and casualty insurance industry. So not very glamorous.
But very needed.
Yes,
right?
very, very needed. We help insurance companies, we enable them to get their customers' lives back to normal as quickly as possible after there's been some sort of collision or accident, either with an auto vehicle or at the workplace.
Okay.
So, part of what we're doing is, as you mentioned, looking at how we can bolster our employment of vets.
Okay.
And so part of this is going to be done through a much larger branding initiative, looking at, identifying the specific value that Mitchell brings to all its employees.
So let me just stop you right there. Why, and this is a loaded question, why do you want to focus on hiring veterans? Why is it important to Mitchell International?
Well, I mean, and I'll let Megan chime in as well, but I think that, the military is such a big part of San Diego. I know that in some publications that I've read, we've sometimes been the highest military payroll in the U.S. So that's significant.
Yes.
It's important for us as a community and as a company that was born in San Diego and has grown to now 1,500 full-time employees. we feel that it's our, it's part of our job to help support the community, and vets are a big part of that.
You did start here. Was it Glenn Mitchell that started Mitchell International?
That's right, about 70 years ago.
70 years ago. Wow. I was just a kid back then.
And so with that, we want to offer the stability to those folks. And with that, we have just over 50 current veterans that are with us and across all sets of jobs, whether it be customer service or sales. We have product manager roles, account manager roles, where folks can use their leadership skills and they can work with our customers. And so they have a lot of opportunity to transfer those skills. And so we see a lot of opportunity, and we have a lot of leaders, senior managers, director level folks with Mitchell. And they can provide a lot of opportunity for veterans to navigate into the civilian world and let them know, there is opportunity here, and how do we harness your skills? And, we want to make sure that we're bringing those folks with us to job fairs and other events. Right. And we want someone that can speak to those folks. So we have a lot of senior leadership that we can take as an HR department, as a talent acquisition group. And we want to make sure we're focusing on speaking to that broader
That's
community.
great, right? And so there's that safety net. So when you have veterans that come to you, that work with you, there is this group of 50 veterans already there that speak the language, that can help them with the little things. Like sometimes even highest level officers don't even know what to wear on their first day of work. And if you've got that group there that can talk that language and help them along with even the little questions like that, makes a huge difference, especially with retention. Right, that's part of a lot of companies' retention strategies, and we were talking to Cox about that, is creating what we call ERG groups, or employment resource groups, within those organizations. So what do you do, and how do you actively seek veterans to join your organization?
Well, one of our ideas, and this is, again, we're in the incubator stage.
Future, that's all right. You gotta start somewhere.
We want to make sure we're profiling our jobs, so that way when veterans and active duty folks are at the stage where they're starting to look for civilian jobs, they could go to our Mitchell Careers page, and they have an opportunity to go straight to a portal where they can see what sort of jobs we've already profiled. So it makes it easier to find, because part of the tough part of all that is when you're looking at a job description and you're looking at a list of requirements. How does one know if they're a fit for the job? So how do we make it easier, even just on our careers portal page? So a lot to talk about with our HR group and how we can make that happen.
And sometimes veterans have a hard time reading something that says customer service experience required, and for them to understand that they really did have customer service experience. So you kind of have to rewrite job descriptions and landing pages to make it more veteran friendly.
Right.
Jaime.
Yeah, and I think part of that too is, working with our managers and identifying, what are the skills that are needed for the jobs to be, be successful, and then how can we map that to the experience that, individuals are getting in the military.
Perfect.
Right, and then it's working in conjunction with our managers to say, hey, this might not be the perfect resume, right, but that's expected, and let's move forward and consider this individual based on what we know of their experience.
Right. I admire what you guys are
buy-in.
doing. Yeah, I totally admire what you're doing. You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I am your host, Eve Nasby, here with our good friends from Mitchell International, Megan and Jaime. Yeah, so talk about more. You're building this program out. You're creating a culture that's friendly to veterans. What else are you doing to attract and hire and retain veterans at Mitchell International?
Well, most recently, we have a couple folks that are in close ties with the Navy SEAL Foundation as well as our SWIT community. So we often see, especially if we want to start to think about the different groups, whether we're looking at Marines, whether we're looking at Air Force or Special Ops, you name it, we want to make sure that we know how to read a resume for each of those segments. And so it's a lot of internal learning for us too. So our HR department, our talent acquisition team, learning how to read resumes and working with our veterans that are currently with us, and maybe they can help us understand what we're looking at. And when we're working with our hiring managers, being able to be an advocate for the veterans that are applying into those jobs. And so what we do, we've got a couple of online resources where we're starting to look at where can we post jobs, or even start to just talk about Mitchell to the broader community and these other organizations, and at least get people thinking about Mitchell International and as a place to consider work when they're transitioning out.
Well, this is a great place to start to advertise the positions you have open. So can you talk? And I was excited because you said the 50 veterans that you have working for you are in all different walks of the organization. They're in different departments. They're in different roles. And on past shows, we've talked about how sometimes people pigeonhole veterans into certain positions, like mechanic positions or whatever, right? So you guys have people all over the place. So talk about, for our people that are listening, that are looking for work or who know somebody that's looking for work, what openings do you have today at Mitchell?
Certainly. So, and I brought a little list here with me as well.
Cheat sheet. That's
a
good.
Little cheat sheet. We have roles within our sales organization and in field support as well. We have several leaders in our product management and account management organization where they're really, they take a lot of ownership over our product lines and delegating resources. And that gives people an opportunity to think about what operational skills transfer over. So account manager roles.
Okay.
As I look, we have a lot of content management opportunities, field service roles, which is great for folks that need to work remotely or have families, especially if you're someone that's accustomed to the travel. So opportunities in office here in San Diego. That said as well, we have locations in Coppell, Texas, Irvine, Salt Lake City, Utah now. So it's not just limited to San Diego, but for families that are in other locations as well.
That's great. I just got a call from somebody who's listening on the internet from Texas, and she's looking for work. So I'll have to make that connection for you guys.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And the great thing about Mitchell International is that we are large enough and we're small enough that, as Jaime had mentioned earlier too, we have roles that are a bit broader in scope. And so there's a lot of opportunity for learning. And Mitchell's still an ever-growing organization. And with that, we have jobs that are newly created. And so there's a lot of opportunity to, you move into a role, but if your manager can see that you have a broader set of skills, how do we use that? And maybe how do we look at really giving you opportunity to grow?
Yeah, and you know, I think the reason that you see the diversity in the titles of, you know, our employees that are vets is because we are a really great learning environment. You know, we're willing to hire based on your motivations and behaviors, essentially, right? And allow you to grow within the position, and then from there allow you to explore your career within Mitchell, right? Because we, as I mentioned, as a learning environment, we really like to provide you with the experiences that we feel are going to be of value to your career. So a lot of times you can make transitions from one job to another within the organization internally, which is great because you don't really see that.
No, you don't. That is wonderful. And that tells me that Mitchell really cares about its employees and their next level and their next iteration of helping them learn and grow and develop them within that organization. I think Elon Musk has the same type of, his ideas around that are similar to yours. You keep educating your folks, and that only makes your organization stronger. So I admire you for that.
And we have additional programs as well, where if someone's looking to get a certification or they want to get some more training or even schooling, we do have programs that offer education reimbursement for a bachelor's or for a master's. And then within your respective department, there's another opportunity to get a certification. So if you're in HR and you want to get your HR certificate, there's opportunities for education and learning as well.
We're going to have Dina Ayala come on the show in just a few minutes, and she's going to talk about all the things that San Diego HR Forum is doing for veterans and those certification programs. So you are a military spouse.
Yes.
And I think one of the challenges that I often hear with military spouse are they go into an interview and the interviewer will say, hey, well, Megan, why have you only been, where were you before? Oh, I was in North Carolina. Why is that? We were stationed there. And then that person who's interviewing them is not going to hire them because they think, well, in 2 more years, Megan's going to leave again, right? So how does Mitchell, do you guys do a focus program around hiring military spouses, or how do you deal with that?
We actually have an online community within Mitchell, and we have groups that we can associate with. And so, for example, we have a military group within Mitchell, and so we can actively chat and comment about things within the industry or within Mitchell. And I think to that point, we actually have a smaller community within Mitchell where we can talk about challenges or even successes or what it was like. And beyond that, I mean, when I was interviewing with Mitchell, I know that was actually a positive a positive point.
Good.
I enjoyed talking about that. I had my husband's in the military and people appreciated that service. And so it was really welcome to know that there wasn't that bias. And I have never felt that.
Awesome. I love it. I think everybody listening who's looking for a job needs to apply at Mitchell International. And you guys tell them how they can find you.
So we have our online careers page, of course, mitchellinternational.com, and then visit our careers page. You can see an active list of jobs that we have available. And you can also find me on LinkedIn, Megan Puryear. And if you search me, I'm more than happy to chat offline about opportunities and how maybe we can help you with putting a resume together or getting you ready for interviewing if you need some training to that point too.
All right, Jaime, how do they find you?
They could also find me on LinkedIn, Jaime Onofre, and I guess that's the best place right now.
That's the best place to find you right now.
Yes.
Right. Awesome. Well, it has been a pleasure having you guys on the show. Thank you for all you're doing for veteran spouses. I really admire all the work that Mitchell International is doing. And again, for all of those who are listening, if you are looking for work or if you know somebody who's looking for work, reach out to our good friends here from Mitchell International.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're listening to Brave Radio, where we're focused on matching veteran talent with innovative companies like Mitchell International that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back after this short break to talk to the ever-ready bunny. Her name is Michelle. She's with Hero to Hire. She's got more energy than any of us know what to do with, and it's going to be an honor to have her on the show, so don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. With us back in studio for, the 5th, 6th, 100th time is Dina Ayala, president of San Diego HR Forum. Dina, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me again.
Absolutely. One of the things I love about what you guys are doing at the HR Forum is focusing on veterans who might be interested in a career in HR. So can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So if you are a veteran in transition or you're already in a job and you're looking to get into your next role, a stepping stone of sorts. We focus on HR-specific jobs. So please do find us, come to us. If you have a certification, we give you your actual cert credits for free if you come each month.
Wow. I like free.
Free is great. But please do come and check us out. We are the place to come if you're looking for an HR job and being within the community. And we just offer networking within our groups. We offer mentorship. We offer a community that's very accepting. So we would love to have you come in, meet some people, and just kind of grow your career with us.
That's awesome. Well, in studio with us today, too, is Michelle from Heroes to Hired. And I think this mentorship program might be an opportunity for some of the folks that you counsel with and help. So, Michelle, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And it definitely does sound like something I'd be interested in knowing more about.
Yeah,
Michelle, we're going to have to sync up for coffee.
So, Michelle, tell us about Heroes to Hired.
Okay. Well, Heroes to Hired is a Department of Defense comprehensive employment initiative program. And basically what we do is we are a resource for the National Guard, for reservists, and for transitioning service members who are looking to bridge the gap between their military experience and their civilian goals, employment.
And that transition is tough.
It's very
hard. And you went through it. So give us the 1 minute, this is what you don't want to do once you land a civilian job. Michelle, tell us what you did.
Well, I spent 20 years of my life serving my country as a United States Marine, and then as a HR professional, admin personnel chief. Once I got out, the one thing that I knew I didn't want to do is sit behind someone's desk. So, but in that transition, I was afraid. Okay. You know, I actually thought that I was going to get out and this world of opportunity was going to be there for me. And it was, but I had to go search for it, but I didn't know how. So I fell back into what I knew, which was admin. And when I got there, I learned the hard way that it wasn't necessarily the thing that I had wanted to do the rest of my life outside of the Marine Corps.
Okay, so you had people in Afghanistan that used to report to you.
Yes.
They're still in the war zone.
They're still in the war zone.
And your supervisor here in the civilian world complained about what?
Lunch. She complained about having lunch for 30 minutes on the beach. And she was talking to me about this. And in my mind, I'm thinking about my Marines who are currently in Afghanistan serving their country, whose lunch consists of an MRE, a meal ready to eat, you know, probably on the back of some some truck or something. And it didn't sit well with me. And I had a conversation with her about it that didn't sit well with her. And
the next day, you didn't have a job.
Yeah, the next day, I had to leave. I had to move my desk somewhere else.
But you know what? That is the passion that I love about you, Michelle. You are passionate about those folks that were still in Afghanistan were still in your heart. They're still in your mind. You still cared about them. They're still part of you and your team. And I think that veterans bring that teamwork, the camaraderie with them. They care about one another. And in the civilian world, you don't always find that, right?
Right.
And so now you've taken that experience of that mistake.
Yes. Yes.
And you're teaching other veterans how to successfully transition from the military into civilian life. So talk about the services that you provide for the folks that are transitioning.
Okay, well, some of the things that I provide while at Hero to Hire is, one, I provide career counseling in the form of helping prepare their resume, helping prepare for interviews. We do a lot of mock interviews. I do a 1-hour intake where I take a look at their resume, and then I also ask them to bring me 3 positions that they would like to potentially work for.
So they're doing their research up front before they come to you.
Exactly, because the one thing I understand recruiters do not want to hear when they ask the question, what type of job you're looking for, is, well, anything.
Yes.
No, when you
like nails on a chalkboard.
Exactly. When you leave my office, you are going to know exactly what you want to do. Maybe not the company that you want to work for, but you will know the type of position you want and the culture that you're looking for and everything. And those are the 2 things that are the most important, I think, to veterans when they're transitioning to Guard and reservists, because they are already submersed in a culture, and they need to know that when they get out in the civilian community, that they will be able, their experience, their skills will be able to translate over into the civilian world.
Right. So for those listening who are looking for a position or who are struggling in their transition experience, how do they get a hold of you, and what is the cost to them?
Well, the cost is free. I know.
Back to free. I think that's my favorite word.
It is free, and you can get in contact with me. We have an esgr.mil website.
Ooh, that was fast.
Yes, ESGR. It stands for Employee Support of the Garden Reserve. So it's esgr.mil website. And then you can also find me on LinkedIn, Michelle with 1 L, Paul. And you can also contact me by phone.
Okay.
And the phone number is 409-344-0794.
So when they call you, what's the first thing that they can expect? Are they sitting down with you for coffee? Are they emailing their resume? What's the first step?
Well, as soon as they contact me, the very first thing I'm going to want to know is, are you actively seeking employment?
Okay.
That's the very first thing. Because if they're just in the job market and not really looking, then it'll change the dynamics of the conversation that we have. But if they say that they're actively looking, then I'm going to ask them to email me their resume.
Okay.
I'm going to take a look at their resume, and then after I take a look at their resume, I'm going to give them a call. I'm going to let them know, okay, well, we're going to do an intake, and then I'll let them know that these are some of the problems that I've seen, or your resume looks great, and then we'll move forward with that.
What if it doesn't look great? What
if it doesn't look great?
What if I just write on there, I was a sniper?
Yeah, if it doesn't look great, then what we will do is we will schedule an intake, and then I will bring them into my office or at a place that's convenient for them. Okay. I'll go to them if need be, and then we will do about an hour-long intake. And then that's when I say, okay, well, I want to meet with you for an hour, and this is what I need. I need you to, that's when we do the job descriptions, and, and we have them bring the job descriptions. And then we take a look, and then we start the process to get them job ready. So that means I'm talking to them. I'm helping them cultivate their 30-second elevator speech. I'm letting them know that, okay, everything that is in your elevator speech should also be on your resume. Right. You should be able to speak about your resume. You should be able to speak about your 30-second speech, and it should just become one.
Okay. I love it. Well, we are running short on time. Give us another snippet of what you can do, and then we'll talk again about how people can get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, there's 3 things I do. I provide the job interview, the resume writing, and the mock interview skills. Mm-hmm. I also provide resources. So if I can't help them, then I know people who can. I work with EDD. I work with American Job Centers. I work with Work for Warriors. So there's a number of resources in the community that I work with to help them. And then I also work with businesses. I have networks with different businesses in the community. So when they are prepared, I can shop their resume to businesses and say, this person is a great candidate. I know I vetted them for you. All they need is a chance.
And you just met Cox Communication and Mitchell International, big companies here in San Diego.
Exactly. And you know what? They were extremely interested in knowing about the veterans, the reserve and the guard that I have in my case management right now. And we exchanged information, and I will be contacting them soon and hopefully get some hires out of that meeting.
I know you will. I know you will. You're awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our show today, Michelle. One more time, tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you.
You can reach me at the esgr.mil website and on LinkedIn at Michelle with 1 L, Paul.
All right. Michelle, thank you so much. And Dina, tell us, our listeners again, how they can get a hold of you with SDHR Forum.
The best way to get through to SDHR Forum is www.sdhrforum, which is forum.com. Please reach out to us. We really do want to help.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, both for all you do for our veterans.
Thank you.
I'm Eve Nasby, and you've been listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer. If you want to find out more about how you can hire top veteran talent, or if you're interested in being a guest on our show, visit our website at www.thebrave.us. Send us a tweet at Brave Jobs or like our Facebook page. From all our guests and me, thanks for joining us. And until next Monday, may God bless our veterans and God bless America.
Thanks for listening to Brave Radio. If you know a veteran looking for work, or if your company is hiring, call Eve at Brave at 619-244-3000. Give her a tweet at Brave Jobs and connect with them on Facebook. To be a guest on the show, visit thebrave.us.